He was 72, sharp as ever, still told the same old jokes at the dinner table, and never missed his evening walk. That night he watched Jeopardy with Mom, laughed at the final question, and went to bed just like every night before. The next morning, he didn't wake up. No heart condition, no stroke, no warning. We were devastated, of course, but more than that, we were confused. It didn't make sense. The doctors said something that still echoes in my head. Sometimes the body gives small signs long before the end. Most people just don't know what they're looking at. That one sentence haunted me, so I went looking. Through books, medical papers, interviews with geriatric specialists. I wasn't just grieving, I was trying to understand. And what I found shocked me. There are small things, little habits people over 70 do every night, routines that seem harmless, even comforting. But some of these habits, if ignored, could be the very things stealing time away from the people we love. In this story, I'll share the 4 bedtime habits that might have played a part in what happened to my father. Habits that could be putting your parents, grandparents, or even you at risk. Some of these may sound familiar. One of them you probably did last night without thinking twice. And the last one. It could be the most dangerous of all. Before we jump in, tell us where you're tuning in from. And if this story touches you, make sure you're subscribed, because tomorrow I've saved something extra special for you. The first habit might seem innocent, comforting even. But after 70, it can quietly push the body past its limits. It's eating a heavy meal too late in the evening. My Uncle Frank was always the last one to sit down at the table. He'd say, "Dinner tastes better when it's earned," usually, after finishing his late-night crossword and a stiff walk around the block. Then came the plates, piled high with ribs, mashed potatoes, and cornbread. He'd eat slowly, savoring every bite, then go straight to bed around 10:30. But over time we noticed things changing. He started waking up at 3 a.m., gasping. He'd sit at the edge of the bed holding his chest, sweating. The doctors ran tests. No heart attack, no stroke. Nothing that screamed emergency. But his body was speaking, just not loudly enough. Here's what most people don't know. After 70, your digestion slows down drastically. Your body, already tired, now has to stay awake internally, breaking down food, pushing blood toward the gut, keeping the system running. And when you lie down right after eating, gravity turns against you. Acid can creep up the esophagus, stressing the heart. Blood pressure can spike. The heart beats harder when it should be resting. A study from Harvard found that seniors who eat within 2 hours of bedtime are 64% more likely to experience nocturnal, cardiovascular episodes, silent strokes, irregular rhythms, or even sudden cardiac arrest during sleep. Uncle Frank, he stopped eating late after a doctor finally connected the dots. He shifted dinner to 6:30, with light snacks like yogurt or a banana if he got hungry later. Within weeks, his sleep returned. The gasping stopped. His mornings felt like mornings again. It's not about giving up food. It's about timing. If you're over 70, aim for at least a 3-hour gap between your last big meal and bedtime. Replace heavy dishes with soft, easy-to-digest options if hunger strikes later. Because in this stage of life, the body isn't just processing calories, it's fighting for balance. And if you think skipping dessert is tough, wait until you hear what most people do next, without realizing they're increasing their risk of nighttime falls and hospital visits. The second habit is one that sounds healthy on the surface, something you've been told to do your whole life. Drink. Plenty of water. But after 70, timing matters more than ever, and drinking too much liquid in the hour or two before bed can become a quiet threat. Let me tell you about Irene. She's 76, bright, sharp, and absolutely committed to staying healthy. Every evening, she had a ritual, a warm shower, a cozy robe, and a big glass of water to flush the toxins, she'd say with a smile. One night around 2:30 a.m., she woke up with the urge to use the bathroom. As usual, she didn't want to turn on the lights and wake her husband. So she shuffled toward the bathroom in the dark. Halfway there, she lost her balance. Irene fell hard. Her hip fractured. That one step in the dark led to months of rehab, pain, and a loss of the independence she valued so much. It's more common than you think. After 70, the bladder becomes less elastic. It can't hold as much. The brain's signal to urinate comes more urgently, and often too late. Plus, something called orthostatic hypotension becomes more frequent. That's a sudden drop in blood pressure when you stand up, making you dizzy or lightheaded. Combine that with drowsiness, darkness, and a cluttered floor. It's a fall waiting to happen. Waking up once a night might be normal, but twice, 3 times, that's sleep disruption. And disrupted sleep is linked to cognitive decline, increased heart risk, and depression in older adults. There's a better way. Hydrate well, but early. Drink most of your fluids in the morning and early afternoon. After dinner, reduce your intake. If your mouth feels dry at bedtime, a small sip or even an ice chip can help. And avoid caffeine, even from hidden sources like tea or chocolate, after 4 p.m. Caffeine lingers longer in aging bodies. Irene now keeps a nightlight in the hallway, uses a cup with a straw to control late-night sips, and no longer drinks a full glass before bed. Her sleep has improved. So has her balance. And most importantly, she hasn't fallen since. But what about something even more subtle? Something that doesn't involve food or water, but the very air and heat around you. Something that can push your heart to work harder when it's supposed to be at peace. The third habit hides in plain sight. It's not what you eat or drink. It's the room you sleep in. After 70, your body doesn't regulate temperature the way it used to. And that cozy, toasty bedroom you think is keeping you safe, it might be quietly straining your heart every single night. Let me tell you about Gerald. He was 78, a retired school principal and always a bit of a perfectionist. He liked his room warm, really warm. In the winter, he'd set the thermostat to 78 degrees, wear thick pajamas and bundle under 2 heavy blankets. His wife, Margaret, used to say, "It's like sleeping in a sauna." At first, it just meant waking up sweaty and tired. Then Gerald began experiencing chest discomfort at night. He felt restless, tossed and turned, and often woke with a rapid heartbeat. One night, he passed out in the hallway. The emergency room doctor told him, "Your heart was working overtime while you were supposed to be resting. You see, when your room is too warm, your heart doesn't get to rest. It works harder to push blood toward the skin to cool the body down. That added workload isn't ideal, especially when your cardiovascular system is aging. High bedroom temperatures also reduce deep sleep, the kind that heals your body and strengthens memory. And when you sweat too much overnight, you lose fluids thickening the blood, a dangerous combination for anyone with a history of heart disease or high blood pressure. What's the ideal? Experts suggest keeping your bedroom between 64 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit. It might feel cool at first, but your body adjusts and thrives. Here's a tip Gerald eventually followed. Instead of blasting the heat, he started warming the bed itself. An electric blanket set on a timer made the sheets inviting. Then he'd turn it off before falling asleep. The room stayed cool, but he felt snug and safe. He started waking up feeling more rested, less foggy. And his heart, it stopped racing. But now let's talk about something even more personal. Something that affects your breathing, your heart, and can change the outcome of your entire night, depending on the way you lie down. This last habit might be the most underestimated and the most dangerous. It's not about what you eat, drink, or the room temperature. It's about how you sleep, specifically your sleeping position. Let me tell you about Frank. He was 79, a retired firefighter who prided himself on staying active and independent. Every night, Frank would fall asleep flat on his back, arms folded, across his chest like always. But over the years, his wife Clara began noticing something troubling. He'd snore loudly. Then sometimes the snoring would stop, completely. Silence, no breathing. And just when she was about to shake him awake, he'd gasp and take a deep, desperate breath. It terrified her. Frank had obstructive sleep apnea, a condition where the muscles in the throat relax so much during sleep that they block the airway. And guess what position makes it worse? Sleeping on your back. When you lie flat, gravity pulls the tongue and soft tissues in the throat backward, closing off the airway. Your brain eventually panics, wakes you up just enough to breathe again, but the cycle repeats all night long. The result? Poor sleep, low oxygen levels, strain on the heart, and a much higher risk of stroke or heart failure during the night. The scary part is that many seniors don't even know they have sleep apnea. They think they're just getting older, more tired. But this silent condition is a major cause of nighttime death in people over 70. So what's the solution? Sleeping on your side, especially the left side, can reduce pressure on the heart and keep airways open. But old habits are hard to break. One clever trick: sew a tennis ball into the back of your pajama top. If you roll onto your back, the discomfort will nudge you back onto your side without waking you fully. It's simple, but it works. Frank finally visited a sleep clinic and got diagnosed. With a few changes, adjusting his sleep position, losing a few pounds, and using a special pillow, his breathing stabilized. He no longer woke up with headaches or extreme fatigue. And Clara, she could sleep without fear. These little habits. What time you eat, how much you drink, the warmth of your room, the way you lie down may seem harmless, but after 70 they can mean the difference between a restful night and a risky one. Coming up, let's recap the 4 dangerous bedtime habits and what you can do starting tonight to change them. Because sometimes saving your life begins with how you end your day. Let's take a moment to breathe and look back. We've talked about 4 common habits that seem so normal, so harmless, but after the age of 70 they carry hidden risks. And sometimes those risks don't give you a second chance. First, eating too late at night. A full stomach at bedtime forces your body to stay alert when it's supposed to rest. It strains your heart, affects your sleep, and in vulnerable seniors can even trigger strokes or heart attacks during the night. Second, drinking too many fluids before bed. Yes, hydration is important, but timing matters. Waking up at 2 or 3 a.m. to rush to the bathroom in the dark with sleepy legs and poor balance, that's a recipe for a fall. A broken hip at 75 isn't just painful, it can be life-changing, even life-ending. Third, sleeping in a room that's too warm. Our bodies are designed to cool down at night. If the room is too hot, your heart has to work harder to regulate temperature. That extra strain may seem small, but night after night, it adds up. And it robs you of the deep restorative sleep your brain and body need. And fourth, the way you sleep, specifically sleeping flat on your back. It may feel comfortable, but for many older adults it narrows the airway, increases the risk of sleep apnea, and can silently starve the body of oxygen. Nighttime oxygen drops aren't just uncomfortable, they're dangerous. Now here's the good news. You don't need fancy equipment or medical degrees to fix these. You just need awareness and action. Eat dinner earlier, maybe by 6 or 7 p.m. Choose lighter meals in the evening and save heavier dishes for lunchtime when your body can digest better. Shift your water intake earlier in the day. A glass of water in the morning does more good than one right before bed. Cool down your bedroom. Try setting your thermostat between 62 and 68 degrees. Add a blanket if needed, but let your body sleep in that cooler, healing environment and change how you sleep. Practice side sleeping. Support yourself with pillows if needed. It may feel strange at first, but your heart, brain, and lungs will thank you tonight. Just pick one. One small change, because sometimes all it takes to change your life is changing how you end your day. And coming up next, I want to share a very personal story. The reason why I created this guide, why these habits matter to me more than you can imagine, and why I'll never forget what happened one night, 3 years ago. Let's take a moment to go over what we've uncovered together tonight. 4. Bedtime habits that seem harmless on the surface, but could quietly endanger the lives of those over 70. Eating a heavy dinner late in the evening, which forces the heart and digestive system to keep working overtime when the body needs rest. Drinking too many fluids before bed, which leads to nighttime bathroom trips, falls, and dangerously interrupted sleep. Sleeping in a room that's too warm, straining the heart, and preventing the body from entering deep, restorative sleep. And finally, sleeping in the wrong position, especially on the back, triggering sleep apnea, breathing disruptions, and in some cases, silent death in the middle of the night. These are not just habits. They're hidden hazards. And here's the truth no one tells us. At this age, even small daily choices can tip the balance between stability and sudden decline. That's why I'm urging you, tonight, before bed, pick just one of these habits and shift it. Maybe you eat dinner at 8 p.m. Try 6 instead. Maybe you've been drinking water late to stay hydrated. Finish your last full glass 2 hours before sleep. You don't need to change your entire life overnight. Just adjust one thing, because sometimes one tiny change can save your life. And if you're still thinking about Mr. Min from the beginning of this story, he had no idea that his final evening routine would also be his last. But you do. You still have time. 3 years ago, I lost my father. He was 72, strong, sharp, full of life. That night he made his usual cup of tea, kissed my mum goodnight, and went to bed like he always did. He never woke up. There were no warnings, no medical emergencies, just silence. It took us months to understand what happened, and when we did, it wasn't a disease. It wasn't some tragic accident. It was a perfect storm of small habits that over time wore down his body. He used to eat late, sleep in a warm room, drank a big glass of water before bed, and always slept flat on his back. No one ever told us these things could matter. We thought he's just getting older. But if I had known then what I know now, I might have had more mornings with him, more stories, more Sunday breakfasts, more time to say what I never got to say. That's why I'm here telling you this, because you deserve that time. Your loved ones do too. Aging doesn't mean surrender. It means adapting, paying attention, treating every night like a gift, because it truly is. So tonight, before you sleep, ask yourself, am I giving my body the best chance to wake up tomorrow? That question could change everything, and if this story moved you, I hope you'll share it with your parents, your grandparents, your neighbors, or anyone you love over 70. Because awareness is a kind of love, and sometimes it's the only thing standing between goodbye and another beautiful day together.